continue to hammer that in and get the word out. Over 75% of Americans in a Gallup poll want to audit or abolish the Fed or both. So we're beginning to have more and more victories, and people that wouldn't listen to us 10, 20, 30 years ago, 45 years ago when you first got started, they're now listening now. And it's all because of people like you, Bob Chapman, and all the fighters out there. So everything you do, folks, is part of this incremental battle. Many hands make light work. Bob Chapman, thank you so much for spending time with us. I want to do a full hour with you next week. Can you do that?
Absolutely, and thank you for having me again. And we are winning. We've got them on the run, and gold over 1,000 is a good example.
Absolutely. God bless you, Bob Chapman.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Take care, my friend. Bob, Jaron just popped in my ear, one of the producers. What's that? All right, at 1950, I'm going to skip this network break. So stations will be carrying it because it's not their break. There's local breaks, network breaks. Listeners always ask what I'm talking about when I say that. We're going to skip the 20 to 24 long break because I want to be able to play, to analyze it. It's bad audio, but it's the best we got. Somebody sent it to us, recorded off a radio, I guess, with like a tape recorder, of Limbaugh with Mark Dice calling in just an hour or so ago. And we're going to play that. Then we're going to go into the video, audio for listeners, of this incredible mega viral video Aaron Dykes produced that I shot the video of with Charlie Sheen. I'm very proud of this video that I directed, but that Aaron put together. He did yeoman's work. And this is Charlie Sheen's video message to the president. So we're going to go ahead and go to Limbaugh, then to the message to the president from Charlie Sheen. Here it is.
A little love roller coaster. That's the Ohio Players. We're back. Rush Limbaugh here at the EIB Network. Open Line Friday. We're going to start on the phone, San Diego, with Mark. Thank you, sir, for calling. Nice to have you here with us.
Thanks, Rush. I'm wondering what you and your establishment friends are going to do now that over one-third of Americans from both political parties believe that the attacks of 9/11 were an inside job, and your propaganda and your gatekeeping is not having the effect that you and your puppet masters thought it would.
Well, you know something, Mark? What that tells me is that we're losing one-third of the country to a bunch of insane lunatics. And 9/11 was an inside job. I saw an interview, Mark, with Charlie Sheen. Charlie Sheen got 20 minutes with Barack Obama. I read the transcript. And Charlie Sheen said, hey, Mr. President, don't you realize 9/11 was an inside job? And Obama didn't want to go there. But if you can't get the leader of your kooks to go along with what you kooks believe, then I would say that you've got a kook cause. 9/11, an inside job. I fear for the country because of such insanity. And I've talked about the fact that we're 2 or 3 countries today. And I have no illusion that I have any ability to reach the insane. I have no ability that I have any sway over lunatics. And frankly, I don't even try. What I'm trying to do is make sure that the number of lunatics, the numbers of the genuinely politically insane remain as small as 1/3, so that you will forever remain the stupid idiot minority that you are. You know something, folks? If George Bush were president today, let's say it's 2007, and it's the 6th anniversary of 9/11, and if George Bush were president, remember now the Iraq War still going on, coming up on the surge, and this training exercise had happened, do you think, and Bush was, let's say everything's the same, except Bush is president, he's at the Pentagon, he's doing a memorial at the Pentagon, and the Coast Guard runs this training exercise. You know what the drive-bys would report? That Bush faked and staged and purposely did this exercise to scare everybody to death, to realize we have real problems and to get everybody trying to support Iraq. They would say that Bush was behind it. Your lunatic friends, Mark, your kook insaniacs, that would be your take on it. What do we get today? Oh no, CNN. Oh no, the info major series are Obama safe, led them to the most embarrassing hour or 2 of reporting probably this week for CNN. I mean, you have to categorize CNN's embarrassments by the week. Not even.
No warning signs that I'm aware of.
And it was a revelation that the White House had no intention of making public.
President Bush was told in August that Osama bin Laden might be planning an attack involving the hijacking.
Could have predicted.
Nobody in our government, at least.
August 6th PDB.
I believe the title was Bin Laden Determined to Attack Inside the United States.
70% of family members' questions were never answered during the 9/11 Commission report.
Lee Hamilton and Thomas Keane said they were set up to fail.
I mean, I'm a member of the commission. It's a scam. It's absolutely disgusting.
The questions, Mr. President. The questions.
Building 7 ablaze at the moment and apparently getting ready to collapse.
Building 7, freefall collapse.
Well, no, there's number 7 coming down. The excitement and the fun that people get watching an old building being demolished, and they wired very carefully for days, and it's a very careful operation.
Third time today. It's reminiscent of those pictures we've all seen too much on television before, when a building was deliberately destroyed by well-placed dynamite to knock it down.
The smartest thing to do is pull it. And they made that decision to pull, and then we watched the building collapse.
Jane, what more can you tell us about the Salomon Brothers building and its collapse?
Well, only really what you already know. Details are very, very sketchy.
We are getting information now that one of the other buildings, Building 7 in the World Trade Center complex, is on fire and has either collapsed or is collapsing.
The Pentagon. Vanishing airplane.
My close-up inspection, there's no evidence of a plane having crashed anywhere near the Pentagon. The only site is the actual site of the building that's crashed in, and as I said, the only pieces left that you can see are small enough that you could pick up in your hand. There are no large tail sections, wing sections, a fuselage, nothing like that anywhere around, which would indicate that the entire plane crashed into the side of the Pentagon.
Firefighters and police describing explosions. A lot of them.
The secondary explosion. We've got numerous people covered with dust from the secondary explosion.
Just floor by floor instead of popping out.
It was like, if they had detonated.
Yeah,
as if they were planned to take down a building. Boom, 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 boom.
Looks sort of like the building just demolished.
Even if there was no secondary explosives in the building.
Kind of like gunfire. You know, bang, 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 bang. And then all of a sudden, 3 big explosions.
Do you know if it was an explosion or if it was a building collapse?
To me, it sounded like an explosion.
Chief Albert Turry told me that he tried to get his men out as quickly as he could, but he said that there was another explosion which took place, and then an hour after, there was another explosion in one of the towers here.
Sibel Edmonds, FBI translator, breaking her gag order.
All our intimate relationship with Bin Laden and Taliban. We did carry very intimate relationship with these people all the way up to September 11.
Bin Laden was spirited into this military hospital in Rawalpindi for kidney dialysis treatment. The military had him surrounded. They were saying that Osama bin Laden had to be watched carefully and looked after.
NORAD standing down. Where were the planes?
On now to one of the eeriest moments amid the carnage of 9/11. A mysterious plane was seen flying right over the president's residence.
The E-4Bs over New York and Washington, otherwise known as the Doomsday Planes.
It has never been officially explained.
Cell phones working at impossible altitudes. Solicitor General Ted Olson receiving phone calls that the FBI says were never made.
What happened during that call? This is the only information we have on these terrorists.
She was able to call him twice. How she could pull that off, we don't know, but she did.
These are the questions, Mr. President. These are the questions. They go on and on.
Good afternoon, Mr. President. I come to you today representing the families of the victims of September 11th, as well as millions of my fellow Americans. Hopefully by now you've had a chance to read my letter to you, 20 Minutes with the President, and if not, at least had its contents brought to your attention. We have questions, Mr. President. Lots of questions. A lot of them are detailed in my letter, but trust me, there are hundreds more questions. As my letter chronicles, sir, the 9/11 Commission itself says they were lied to, deceived, and essentially prevented from carrying out a real investigation. The people of the United States and the world demand the truth, sir.
we have to continuously ask questions. That's what a patriot does. That's what a true American does. We ask questions.
You, sir, have the power as well as the responsibility to initiate a